Activity here continues to move on to the east. It's a slow mover. It's only about 10 to 15 miles an hour, but regardless, you want to go ahead and take it seriously. So if we can put up the duck rules graphic, remember the duck rules, go downstairs. That includes if you live in a multi-story building as well. You want to go downstairs, get underneath something, and help to cover yourself from any outside flying debris, and stay in the center part of the house. Usually that's a stairway or a hallway, or also a closet, and have as many walls in between you and the outside elements as possible. While you're in that location, like I said, get underneath something or cover yourself up with blankets and pillows and things like that to help shield yourself and protect yourself from anything that would come in from the outside. And as always, keep away from the windows. So remember your duck rules, and if you live in Frederick, especially the south side of Frederick, go ahead and put that into practice as of right now, and you should have already done so. But we'll go back to the reflectivity real quick. And Alex, do they have any updates with that tornado warning there?
No updates on the tornado warning itself. I actually have an update on the previous tornado warning now that is down in North Texas. The severe thunderstorm warning now, as it continues to march eastward. The National Weather Service is noting that it's now starting to form into more of a short line bowing type of structure of storm, which typically enhances more widespread damaging wind potential. So all along this line of storms, as it starts to kind of bow out a little bit, we're going to see more enhanced straight line winds with it. I believe the warning, unless it's changed over the last couple of minutes, I believe was for 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts last I saw. I'm going to double check that. Yeah, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible all the way along this line of storms. And like I said, that's going to start to become more of the main threat here in the immediate future as it bows out, is 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts anywhere as far north as the Red River, down as far south as the Olney area.
Yeah, that's right. And just keep it on this, Alex, because I do want to note that whenever you have these bowing situations that happen, you know, it kind of bows out and punches more in the middle here. So your strongest winds would be right in here. And also what can happen is you can have areas of circulation that develop on the north side, and maybe an area of circulation that develops on the south side as well. So these are two areas to kind of keep an eye on here. Typically, if it does happen, it happens on the north side, and they're typically not that strong or anything like that. And so basically what happens is the winds get sucked up into this complex of storms, and it gets sucked up into, and on the outer edges kind of goes around a little bit. And then on the back side of it, you have the air that gets sucked up into the upper levels. It condenses and rains out. Then it crashes back on the back on the back side of this complex of storms as a cool, drier air. And as it crashes down from the upper levels to the surface, then it starts its journey to the east. It can be very fast, and that's how you get that bowing echo there. So let's go ahead and take a look at your velocities here. And so take a look at those winds, up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated now with this complex of storms. You can see just a wide swath of wind right in here, and it looks like those winds may be punching out the most toward Archer City there. And so that's what you have going on. There's winds going up into the upper levels of the atmosphere. You have these downwinds over here coming in from the west, and that kind of undercuts those southerly warm winds, and then they precipitate or condense out in the form of rain or hail, whatever it may be. And then on the backside, it actually crashes back down to the surface as dry, cool air, and then it starts its journey east. Can be very, very quickly, as in this particular scenario, apparently up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and you can see it punching out there the hardest toward Archer City down in here. Now, if we can go back to the reflectivity real quick, you do notice here that this right here is where it's bowing out the most. And remember, these high winds, especially on the south side, continue on the south side here, and they can continue on the north side as well. Frequent lightning. So as this continues along and south of the river into the falls area further east toward Olney, also Ryan, Bowie, Jacksboro, maybe a little bit later on, this is going to be quite the lightning show as it continues to push on to the east there. And so that's kind of what we have going on with this particular kind of complex that's rolling through the area tonight. Of course, you go further north, you have this tornado warning, which right now is the only tornado warning that we have since they canceled the one south of the river. And this right here does impact the Frederick area. And so you can see here with the velocities, still a little bit of circulation Not the grandest or the greatest circulation. Definitely nothing like what we saw south of the river when you go back to parts of Knox and Baylor counties. But a little bit of area circulation here, just maybe a couple miles west of the actual radar. And as this continues, it's to the east. It would be pretty close to the radar, if not impact the radar there. Have they mentioned anything about any updates on any lowerings or anything with that storm?
Just a couple reports of some funnel clouds still I see. I'm just looking off to my left here at the latest report was there's a brief funnel cloud at one point, but there's nothing currently ongoing. It looks like that funnel cloud even letting up a little bit. So nothing imminent right now, but there is still that circulation, so the tornado warning is going to continue.
Okay, so how long does that tornado warning continue into?
It goes until... Sorry, I got to pull it up here. It goes until 8 p.m. tonight.
8 p.m., so another 7 minutes, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, and then too, you can give us an update with that severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, so that new warning that just got issued it includes parts of Tillman County, parts of Comanche, and parts of Kiowa County. It's for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as quarter-sized hail. So it's a very standard warning in terms of that's a low-end severe thunderstorm warning. Then also, we just had a new warning get issued for that Boeing segment south of the Red River as well. This warning is for 70-mile-per-hour winds and also ping-pong ball-sized hail. So it is definitely, we're starting to see more and more widespread activity because that line of storms is starting to develop north to south through the area. I'm going to pull up kind of the whole reflectivity once again. As we see this line really start to kind of conglomerate and that line start to develop, we are seeing more and more widespread severe activity across the area. Initially, a couple hours ago, it was just isolated to southwest Texoma, but now it's really starting to become more of a widespread concern, and it does look like they actually just issued a new tornado warning for that Frederick circulation that's just about to go over the Frederick radar site. So here's a look at the latest communities included in the newest warning. We have Frederick still included in that warning, so the Frederick area is still included. Hollister, Loveland, and this goes as far east as the Chattanooga area, now included in this new tornado warning. I don't believe, there's still no proof that this hasn't been on the ground or anything like that, but the circulation continues. So new tornado warning was issued downstream, and this, like I said, includes Hollister, Loveland, as well as Chattanooga, so we will continue to follow this warning. It goes until go ahead and take a quick look. Sorry about that. I do not see. Barry, you can go ahead and take it away. I'm going to get the information on this warning.
Yeah, so we do have a new tornado warning that has been issued downstream that does include Hollister, Loveland, also includes, the Chattanooga community as well. You do notice it does get into Chattanooga. So Chattanooga, you all are actually in the tornado warning as well. That's as far east as it extends, though, and so we have an update. Yes, Alex?
Yeah, the thing I was looking for is just how long it went until. It goes until 8:30 tonight, so it's in effect from now until 8:30.
All right, thank you for that information. You also notice that Frederick is also included in new tornado warning as well. And so the area circulation starting to kind of maybe a mile or two still west of the radar, but it's getting very close to the radar, so things get a little bit messier, especially with the reflectivity. But the green basically just means winds coming up to the radar, and so whether they're east winds or north winds, and then the red means winds coming in away from the radar, and so that's what we have going on. You do have this little area circulation over here just on the south side of Frederick, and yes.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give a quick update to North Texas as well, as we have several warnings down here in North Texas right now. But I'm going to try to make it the most sense as possible on your screen. So we have a larger severe thunderstorm warning right here that is for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well as ping-pong ball-sized hail. But then embedded in that warning, we also have this warning, which does include the city of Wichita Falls for up to 80-mile-per-hour winds which will probably trigger storm sirens in the Wichita Falls area as well. There's no tornado right now with it, but 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts for that smaller warning inside there.
And that right there is signifying where I said it was punching out the hardest too. And so right here is where you have the 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. On either side is where you have up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And still that area, that core here, still very strong. This right here is the old area of circulation. You go back just 30 minutes or an hour ago, that was the case. Not as nearly as much circulation now, so they let the tornado warning go with it. But this right here is where you have the highest wind speeds, and these winds are moving to the east-northeast. Like he said, it does encompass the southeast side of the falls there, but regardless, even the northern portions of the falls is going to see 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts roll through, with maybe 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts on the south side of the falls there, as kind of the apex of this complex rolls through to the east-northeast there. And so that's basically what we have here. Just keep it right here, Alex. Maybe loop it a little bit, but keep this same frame. And you do notice that this activity is moving to the east at about 30 miles an hour or so. And you do notice that it bows out a little bit right in here, and that's what we call the apex of the complex. And so you have this bowing segment, you have the apex, and basically along and extending south of the apex is where you have your highest wind gust. So yeah, you have this 80-mile-per-hour wind gust right in here that you see for the northern portions of Archer County right here, and then just south of there is where you have up to 70-mile-per-hour winds stretching down to about the Onley area, and 60, 70-mile-per-hour winds could continue north of that apex or north of that bowing here once you go into just west, like Electra and places just west of the falls. And you do notice that area of circulation over here to the north maybe has calmed down a little bit, but regardless, the only reason why I mention that is because you basically have these winds coming up ahead of it that precipitates out, and then on the back end it crashes down and heads east, and that's where you're getting the 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and then 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts from there to Onley, maybe even 60, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts heading up to the north toward the Red River here. And this activity will be moving from the Red River to the falls down to Onley for a lot of Archer County, a lot of Wichita County as well. And so that's what we have going on with that complex of storms. And then, of course, you move north of the river here toward Frederick, you do have more of a high precipitation event. You notice a lot of rainfall, moderate to heavy rainfall going on, a lot of high precipitation. And trust me, as you can tell here, if this did produce something, you're not going to see it. Just too much rainfall obstructing your view, too. We haven't quite hit sunset yet, but we will in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And so just not very much light out there anymore. Chattanooga, you all are in the new tornado warning, along with Hollister, and Frederick is still in the tornado warning as well. And it looks like if we can go back to the velocities here, this may be just right near the radar, maybe as close to the radar as it's going to get, you know, whether it's a half-mile north or half-mile south, or maybe even right on top of it. Really can't tell. It's not that particular, but it's basically as close as what it's basically going to get for this evening there. And so you do notice the cone of silence is what we call it right here, is basically where you have an area of the radar where it's not picking up on anything, basically just because the radar beam's not far away from it enough yet in order to pick anything up. And so that's what we call the cone of silence right there. And so it's right on top of the cone of silence. And so, you know, hopefully it's not producing anything, because if it would, it'd put the radar in jeopardy for sure. Alex, are there any updates with anything that they're seeing on chat?
Nothing with this tornado warning specifically. This warning is still going the same as it has been, but they are monitoring that warning, or that area of rotation that was producing a tornado warning for like 2 straight hours down in the north, or near the south of the Red River, excuse me, near the Holiday area. Watching very closely, new rotation near the Holiday area. So this could very well go tornado warned in the near future. Nothing. No warning as of right now, but that is just the only new update from the National Weather Service. They're watching that area.
Okay, thank you for that update, Alex. And you can see it has tightened up just a little bit there with the last radar scan. And this is also the area where you're seeing that 80-mile-per-hour wind gust roll through. And that 80-mile-per-hour wind gust tornado warning does actually include the southeast half of the falls here. And so if you live on the northern side of the falls, you're probably going to see 60 to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. You live on the south side of the falls, you'll see up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts roll through. And that's some dangerous winds with that. And so this right here would be the where it's bowing out the most. It's what we call the apex of the complex there. And along that apex, you're going to have the 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And like I said, you go south of there, you'll have up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 60 to 70 further on to the north. And if we can, let's go to the hail core with that and see how the hail core is pulsing. And so it looks like it's on a down pulse as of right now, but could go on the up pulse once again. But definitely good news, I guess, for the communities here just north of Archer City, that the hail's not quite as strong now as what it was back when it was on the Archer-Baylor County line. But you do notice a lot of this, some of this hail could get on the south side of the falls here. And so the south side of the falls is definitely going to see heftier conditions and worse conditions than the north side. But remember, even the north side up to Burke-Burnett still under severe conditions with the wind and the hail threat across the area there. And so we'll go ahead and just kind of go, oh, yes, Alex?
Yeah, so it does look like it hasn't popped up yet, but I did just get confirmation. The National Weather Service is going to issue a tornado warning that's going to include Wichita Falls area. So that'll pop up on your screen in just a minute. There we go. As we speak, new tornado warning includes the city of Wichita Falls, as well as the city of Holiday.
Okay, so this right here is right on top of Holiday right now. This is moving to the east, northeast. So Lakeside City, you all are within the tornado warning. Am I seeing that right? Is Wichita Falls in the tornado warning?
Yes, Wichita Falls is included in this warning.
All right, so Wichita Falls, you are now in the tornado warning along with Lakeside City and Holiday. This is moving to the east, northeast. So if you live from the Falls to Lakeside City and Holiday, you need to make sure that you're in your tornado safe spot, whether that's a tornado cellar, underground, or that's in the most interior room of the home. If you live on a home or an apartment complex that has multiple floors, get down into the first floor, the lowest level that you can, and then get in the most interior room of that structure. And so that's the safest place to be whenever it comes to tornado warnings. And research does show that, especially with higher end tornadoes, more times than not, the last room left standing is actually the most interior room of the hall. And the reason why is because it has as many walls in between that room or that structure and the outside elements as possible. There may be 3 or 4 walls separating it. And so you definitely want as many barriers in between you and the outside conditions as possible. It's almost like layering up whenever you are putting on a shirt, a sweater, and then a coat when it comes to going outside. Almost the same type of idea there. But anyways, this area of circulation is right over Holiday right now, and it's moving to the east, northeast. Did it say how quickly? I'm guessing about 30 miles an hour, unless it's updated.
Exactly 30 miles an hour, you're right.
Okay, 30 miles an hour. So Lakeside City, it's going to be in your area here in the next 15 minutes. It's 8:04 right now, 8:18. So you have about 10 to 15 minutes to get in your tornado safe spot. If you don't know where your family is at, maybe shoot them a text or let them know. Give them a phone call just to let them know that, hey, you know, tornado warned storm over here. That'll be in your area here in the next 5 minutes. And Wichita Falls, you all have got about 25 minutes before this reaches the Wichita Falls area here. And this right here has been kind of stair-stepping a little bit further northeast than really south or anything like that. And so, you know, it's like what Alex said earlier, you know, they could stair-step a little north and a little south. It just kind of jogs with time. Here's a look at the Frederick area, the area of circulation right over the Frederick radar, right over the cone of silence is what we call it. This is just maybe a couple of blocks south of State Highway 5 there. And here's Hollister, and so it's moving into Hollister. It's really kind of it's still a little bit closer to Frederick, but between Frederick and Hollister. Then you have Chattanooga over here to the east, and Chattanooga, you all are in the tornado warning. This is still a little bit downstream from you all, but if you live in Chattanooga, you definitely want to have a heads up on this and start preparing to get in your tornado safe spots. And so Hollister will be in your area here in the next, that seemed a little quick there.
Sorry, I'm going to draw it out on your screen again.
All right. So Chattanooga will be in your area here in the next 35 to 40 minutes. And again, this right here is a slower moving storm than the one to the south. This one's moving east at only about 10 to maybe up to 20 miles an hour tops. I believe that the criteria is actually technically 10 miles an hour. But anyway, it's a lot slower. The one to the south was moving east at 30. Yes, Alex?
I just wanted to give you a quick update. This is moving a little quicker now. It's increased up to about 20 miles per hour towards the east. So it is moving. It's picked up a little bit in speed.
Okay. Yep. So moving at 20 miles an hour now. So Hollister will be in your area here in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so as it continues its journey east. Loveland, it'll be in your area right around 8:30. That's in about 20 minutes. And then, of course, further on to the east, Chattanooga, it'll be in your area here in the next 35 minutes or so. And yes, I have, when it comes to what I say verbally, I do shave about 5-10 minutes off from what you see right here, just in case it picks up in speed, because that can be the case, and it just was the case. From 10 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour. But you get the general idea. And so this right here is State Highway 5. It's right over the cone of silence as of right now. Here in the next radar scan, it may actually be popping out on the east side of the cone of silence. We'll have to see how this area does right in here with time. But, you know, the area circulation may be popping. Yeah, it's popping out just on the east side now of the cone of silence there. You can see a lot of rainfall with this, so you're not going to see it. It's definitely rain wrapped. And let's go ahead and take a look at the correlation coefficient. I don't think I've ever really looked at correlation coefficient this close to the radar before. I have reflectivity and velocity, but anyways, not seeing anything noteworthy there with the debris detection. But anyways, yeah, we can go back to the reflectivity real quick, and this right here is popping out on the east side of the Frederick radar. And so if you live near, especially just east of the Frederick radar, from the radar to Hollister, this is State Highway, I believe, 54 there. If you can
yeah, you're right, 54.
Okay, I'm about 10 years older than what Alex is, so he has to help me sometimes when it comes to vision. Anyways, you do notice that we have State Highway 5 up here to the north and State Highway 54 here to the east, and your area circulation is right between the radar and Hollister. So Hollister, this is basically on top of you all now, and so this you want to go ahead and take a precaution and go ahead and take action on those duck rules. Go downstairs, get underneath something, get into the center part of the house, and keep away from windows. And so just get in the most interior room of the home, has as many walls in between you and the outside elements as possible, and stay away from the windows, and you should be safe from this area circulation, this tornado warned storm, as it passes over your area. And so definitely take a note of these duck rules here. And so if we can, let's go ahead and take it back to radar here. Actually, we haven't went to Jared in a while. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can get Jared on the phone? He may be in a rural area or something. He was headed up toward Frederick the last time I knew. If he's in a rural area, that's fine. But let's at least try to get in contact with him and see what he says. Yes, Jared, can you hear us?
Yeah, Barrett. So we're on I-44, just crossed over the Red River. We're going to continue to head towards kind of the Walters exit, and we're still looking to try to get eyes on that tornado warned area that is just east of Frederick. Like you've kind of been talking about, it's going right over the Frederick radar, so a little bit of a blind spot as far as what is actually happening there. So we're going to try to get to it and just kind of get eyes on it. I know that we haven't had any reports of an actual tornado or anything on the ground with that tornado warning, maybe just some signs of some low rings, but nothing too major as far as what's been reported from that storm. But as you can hear, I'm sure in my mic, heavy rain coming down over I-44 right now. We're about mile marker 5. So we're going to be dealing with this flooding rain as these storms continue to push east across the area. Obviously not a good thing for what we've been dealing with in southwest Oklahoma the last few days. So that right now is definitely a major concern that continues to grow as we also monitor this potential threat for tornado with this tornado warning. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you for that update, Jared, and definitely stay safe out there because, you know, things are really rained over and rain wrapped whenever it comes to this area of circulation, even more so than what the one to the south was. The one to the south, of course, had a curtain, rain curtain over it, but this one right here just has rain all over this area of circulation. But anyways, you do notice some of that heavier rain now starting to get in Lawton, especially the east sides of Lawton. Notice that whenever I started hearing rain on the roof just a few seconds ago. And so some of this heavy activity will get into the Lawton area here in the next 20 minutes or so. But this right here is where you have your tornado warned storm over here. It's just east of the radar, and there's that area of circulation. It's a weak area of circulation, but an area nonetheless. And I will say this, it does, Alex, what about you? Does it always seem like the Chattanooga area always has a tornado warning, or at least more frequently than maybe other areas? I don't know.
Yes, at least last week, because they also had that warning the other day as well.
Yeah, last year too.
It does look like on the screen here, the tornado warning went away. The National Weather Service hasn't actually said if they plan on letting that stay expired or not, so we're going to monitor that situation closely. But the warning, at least for the current moment, just went away. But there is definitely still some broad circulation. I'll get updates from the National Weather Service when I can on that. But the circulation right now, spitting out to the east side of that Frederick radar site, it's still pretty much along Highway 5. And if it does continue to track eastward, just broadly speaking, I'm going to very roughly estimate it here. We have Chattanooga that would be in a line, Walters kind of on a line, eventually crossing over that I-44 corridor. That circulation would stay south of the Lawton area, but still Lawton is seeing general thunderstorms right now as well. So we're going to continue to monitor that. But yeah, I'll double check and see if the National Weather Service plans on letting that warning stay expired.
Okay. Yeah, let's stay with it for another 5 minutes or so because we'd hate to go away and then just get right back on. If they do extend that tornado warning, we do have a tornado warning over here just south of the falls as well. Actually, it does include the falls, and so you do notice this area of circulation continues to move to the east northeast. We have another update.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in. It does look like they've canceled that Tillman County tornado warning as of now. So just the only warning that is still active is the one on your screen that is approaching Wichita Falls.
Okay, so at least we have a little bit of good news. At least they did away with one tornado warning. We still have one standing warning, though. That does include Wichita Falls. It even includes Wichita Falls proper here, and this is moving to the east-northeast. It's right between Holiday and Lakeside City. Holiday, this is maybe just a mile east of you all, but Holiday still not done with the threat yet. Still a little bit too close to call there. You're still in the tornado warning. Tornado warning for Lakeside City. Lakeside City, you're next. And then after that, we have the falls. And hopefully this thing can fall apart by the time it reaches the falls. I will say this, nothing observed or anything like that. So this right here is strictly radar indicated and not radar confirmed or anything like that. And we're starting to get some heavy rain on the roof now. But anyways, definitely area circulation we'll be watching here. Still got an area of circulation across the western side. It's getting pretty close now. It's on the southwest side. It's over Lake City on the southwest side. Falls there, as you can see here. And so with the radar scan update, you do notice it's right on Lakeside City now, getting in on the southwest side of the falls. So if you live in the falls area, anywhere within the city limits of the Wichita Falls, even the northern areas here, you want to go ahead and take advantage of those duck rules. Go downstairs. Even if you live in an apartment, you want to go downstairs, get into the lowest room of the building and have as many walls in between you and the outside elements as possible, and stay away from the windows. Also, when you get into the most interior room, you can also cover yourself or get underneath something to help protect yourself and shield yourself from outside debris that may come through the windows or anything like that into the structure. And so we'll also have a severe thunderstorm warning for this area as well. And so this is coming in on the southwest side of the falls as we speak right now. And so, Alex, what's the update with this severe thunderstorm warning, and do they have any updates with the tornado warning?
The new severe thunderstorm warning update, actually it's just a continuation. They continued up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts with the system. So outside of that tornado warning, I'm going to draw a circle around it on your screen here. Right in this area, we're seeing a swath of up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible. South of the Wichita Falls area, looks like just north of wind thrust, heading towards Henrietta eventually. That's still probably about 20-30 minutes out. But Up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts will continue in that warning.
Okay, thank you for that. And I apologize, I have to step off screen when it rains hard. When it rains hard, it's hard to hear them from over here. Anyways, we do have 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts now coming in to Wichita Falls from the southwest, and also that area of circulation as well. Tornado warned storm, and as radar indicated, we have not observed anything or anything like that, have not seen anything on the debris detection, so not radar confirmed or anything, but something that you definitely want to take very seriously. Remember, these things can generate pretty quickly and then weaken pretty quickly, and so that's definitely something that you want to take seriously. You do notice some higher winds continue on to the south toward Archer City, just east of Archer City here, was toward Onley. Now it's pushed east of Onley. So this right here is the Clay County line with Wichita and Archer County. And then you go further south, you got Northern Young and Jack County there. And so we do have an update with the tornado warning. I think they just shaved off the back end, but maybe we have something more.
Yeah. They continued it for quarter-sized hail, so hail really not too much of a concern. Continues until 8:30 this evening.
Okay, and what's the hail criteria with this again?
Up to quarter-size hail.
Okay, so the hail itself is pretty standard, but of course we have these dangerous winds coming in to the Wichita Falls, even stretching as far north as Burke-Burnett. So Burke-Burnett, the tornado aspect of this is just to your south. You're not seeing that part, but you are seeing some hefty winds, and you do notice these winds, radar indicated here with our radar, up to 70 miles per hour, and so yeah. So very hefty winds right now, and so winds gusting to the mid-40s in this area, even the mid-60s, and then up to 70 miles per hour. And so, yeah, you have the highest wind gusts right now coming in on the southwest side of the falls here. You have Holiday over here on the backside. Actually, Holiday, you all are out of the tornado warning now, as they shaved you out from the backside of the tornado warning there. So Holiday, you're completely in the clear. This right here is basically a Wichita Falls event as of right now, as this moves through the falls area there. You have Petrolia downstream and Henrietta downstream, and this could continue to curve onto the north and go more toward Petrolia, or this could kind of turn to the right and go more toward Henrietta. But if you live both in either of these communities, you definitely want to take a heads up and take note of what's going on downstream of you all, and of course all of the falls in this tornado warning, and as these high gusty winds and this area rotation rolls through. Yes, Alex?
Yeah, just wanted to point out, National Weather Service is seeing this as well. We just talked about it over the last minute or two, but really seeing some enhanced winds actually outside of that 80-mile-per-hour polygon right now, just south of the Burke-Burnett area. These winds right now are really picking up, so it'll be interesting to see what happens as it tracks eastward. But just south of Burke-Burnett, right along I-44, we're probably seeing localized wind gusts of up to 80 miles per hour possible. This storm, historically, it's been a little while now, but historically has had the capability of producing 90, even up to 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So it's not out of the realm that it picks back up, realm of possibility that it picks back up in strength, but that is where your strongest winds are located right now, just south of Burke-Burnett.
Yes, thank you for that, Alex. You know, with the updated scans, it looks like the highest of your winds now are in Burke-Burnett. You can see up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts there near the Burke-Burnett area. And once you go down to the falls, still seeing severe winds, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts coming up into the falls as well, that area of circulation. But again, these very dangerous winds right now from the Red River south to about Burke-Burnett. In fact, they came out with a tornado warning, something that I was just thinking might happen a few minutes from now. Looks like that's the case. Alex, why don't you give us the update with that? As you look it up, I'll continue with this. But you do notice that area of circulation right here, right on the Red River, heading to Randelette as of right now. Looks pretty rural once you go past Randelette. It does not include Temple yet, but this is just downstream from you all. And so this right here would be actually our third cell that produces tornado warning. Yes, Alex?
Yeah, so this storm moving at 15 miles per hour towards the east right now. It's a severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado, so I believe they've just issued this warning because of how strong those winds were in the area, and this a little bit of that notch in that the velocity data there. Quarter-sized hail, so hail not too much of a concern with this, but it's right now just radar indicated. There's no reports or anything along with it.
Yeah, that's probably a good decision coming from the National Weather Service in Norman. And the reason why is because once winds get up to about 80 plus miles per hour, very hard for the radar to detect a rotation whenever the winds are just streaming that quickly. And so you definitely, even though the radar shows just a teeny notch, the actual notch could be larger than that. The radar would just have a hard time picking up on it because those winds are just streaming by so fast. We have 80 to even 90 mile per hour wind gusts with this. 90 mile per hour wind gusts with this complex earlier. Right now we're talking more 80, but regardless, you get the idea. These very fast, dangerously fast winds rolling through, and again, there could be more of a notch here than what the radar is showing, just due to the velocities of the wind. You do notice that we have a DeVol here that's in the tornado warning. It's basically between DeVol and Burke-Burnett, as you can see here, and you also notice Randelette. You all are in the the tornado warning. Also, Cookietown is in the northern portion of the tornado warning, and you also notice Taylor. And so it looks like DeVol is basically over your area now. Randelette will be in your area here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Cookietown here in the next 30 minutes or so, and then Taylor in the next 30 to 40 minutes. But remember, the storms north of the falls are moving a little bit slower at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, while the storms south of the falls are moving a little bit quicker at about 30 miles per hour. And so definitely something to take note of there as this complex rolls through. You notice this area of circulation here that's rolling into the falls, especially the southern half of the falls. That's your tornado warned activity there. And you have another area of circulation right in here that they're watching. So kind of two areas of low pressure there that they're watching for tornadic activity. You also have Jared here with the Storm Hunter, and why don't we go back to Jared if he can hear us, and if we can take him, go back to Jared and just kind of ask him what his plans are now, since there's kind of been some shifts in the tornado warnings and stuff throughout the area, and also what are you seeing as well?
Yeah, Barrett, so we were continuing north when they canceled that tornado warning. We're going to be looking for an opportunity here in just a minute to turn around and go back south towards this newest tornado warning. We may go east, well, we probably won't, because they may still be dealing with flooding issues further east. So we're going to look for an opportunity to probably pull off the road here at the Walters exit and keep an eye on this storm as it continues to push in that northeasterly direction. Right now, like I was saying earlier, we're in a little bit of a lower rain area where we are just south of the Walters exit, but we've been in heavy rain this entire time. So flooding, along with these QLCS, tornado warnings that keep popping up, are definitely going to be two of the bigger issues that we deal with through the rest of the evening. Heavy rain is continuing to happen across Cotton County and really this whole line of storms. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to the roadways and see if we start seeing any flooding issues happen where we are. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it and appreciate that update. And definitely stay safe out there, Jared. A lot of rainfall. Really can't see much, too. The sun is officially set now, and so that's what we're looking at here as far as the visuals are concerned. This right here is the notch that we're looking at, area of circulation there, and also these fast winds rolling through as well. And this activity is going to continue through much of the rest of the evening hours. Could continue to about 1 to 2 a.m., especially for the eastern area. So we're definitely not out in the woods yet. It's cleared half of the viewing area, but we still have half of the viewing area left to go. That's the eastern half as this kind of starts across I-44 between Lawton and Wichita Falls. We also have something else. We have another tornado warning, I believe. Alex, can you go into that?
Yeah, so it looks like they issued that warning kind of for where I had circled on your screen there. For a potential touchdown that they're very closely monitoring. That was on the very edge of that warning that they previously issued. So they issued a new warning kind of correcting where that is. So that goes a little bit further north now as well, up into further northern Tillman County. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'm going to.
So are they going to keep the tornado warning to the south or not?
Yeah, I believe so. They haven't mentioned anything about canceling that one. It's just a new circulation. And then also, on top of maybe an imminent tornado there, I just want to quickly point out we had another tornado warning issued down in North Texas now as well for another circulation. that is just to the east of Scotland, Windthrush, and it's heading towards Henrietta, and Bellevue also included in that. So we have 4 active tornado warnings in the area.
Okay, why don't we go back to the reflectivity real quick and keep the warnings on here, and why don't you go without Storm Hunter to have the warnings up, and expand outward a little bit more here, so therefore we can just get kind of an overview of what's going on. So we have this complex of storms that continue to roll through Texoma to the east, both north and south of the river. South of the river, though, or along and south of the river, seeing the worst of the severe activity. You go north of the river, we've seen some severe activity, especially south of Lawton, but nothing really outside of that until now. We have some activity near Randelette that's moving north and east here, and there's definitely a line that you can see here. Definitely tornadic activity to the south, and there was a couple of observed touchdowns southwest of the falls earlier today. Then you kind of have this area between, let's say, Burke Burnett and maybe getting up to just north of Walters there into southern Comanche County, where it's kind of an in-between zone there. You kind of have a shift, and then once you go north of the line that he drew, that's where your tornado chances really drop off. So your highest tornado chances basically from Burke Burnett into the south, and you have this in-between zone that may not be the highest, but definitely not as low as what it is to the north there. And so that's what you have going on with this complex of storms. And of course, from north all the way to south, basically from Tillman County all the way to the south, you have severe thunderstorm warnings associated with the gusty and dangerous winds that are rolling through. And so here's that area of circulation just near Randelette, as you can see here. That is southern Tillman County, I believe. Yes, that is southern, actually maybe Cotton County. Yeah,
Cotton County.
Right here is the Cotton. Yeah, Cotton-Tillman County line right here. So this is in Cotton County, just barely, as you can see right in here. It's between the Cotton County line and Randelette is that strong area rotation. Very tight, as you can see right there. Not too broad or anything. Very small area, but yeah, that's where it's at right now, just on the northeast side of DeVol, and this is going to continue to move to the north toward Cookietown. So if you live in Cookietown, you want to go ahead and take this very seriously, take advantage of those duck rules. Go downstairs, go underneath something, cover yourself up as well to help protect you and shield yourself from the outside debris. If any debris does crash through windows or get into the structure, and have as many walls between you and the elements as possible. Of course, if you have a tornado shelter, go into that and go underground if you can. You do notice that these winds are really bowing out, as you can see right here, really punching through. And you do notice on the north side, that right there is where you have that area of circulation. And then you also have this area right in here with the falls. You have some winds punching through just south of the falls. On the north side, you have that area of circulation right there. Alex, why don't we zoom into that Wichita Falls tornado warning storm and give us the latest updates with it?
Yeah, so they just issued a new warning for this Wichita Falls storm of just extending the warning past Wichita Falls. You can see that circulation's basically sitting right on top of the falls right now, actually here. And it is going to continue to track generally towards the north and east, towards Dean and Petrolia. It includes the rest of kind of northeast Wichita County, as well as also includes Clay County, and just a tiny bit of Cotton County now. So we're starting to see a swath of tornado warnings with a lot of embedded circulations all up and down this line. We have 3 or 4 different circulations that are being monitored very closely from Cotton County all the way down south into kind of southern Clay County here, with multiple warnings ongoing. So if you look in this area or ahead of it, you should be paying very close attention here for the near future. It looks like the tornado risk is starting to ramp up now that we're in the nighttime hours.
Okay, yeah, that may be due to maybe a little bit of a low level jet at night. But anyways, since we're heading in the night. But yeah, if you live in Bowie or Waweka, if you live in Monte County, also Jefferson County, maybe even Stevens County is the northern portions of this, kind of going a little northeast there. You definitely want to take note, as Alex said, because this activity is just to your west, and this activity will be rolling through your area later on in the next hour or so. You do notice multiple severe thunderstorm warnings along these line of high winds, and then you have the tornado warnings with the area circulations. Actually, I don't do this often because it very rarely gets like this, but Alex, can you actually do away with the severe thunderstorm warnings and just have the tornado warnings pop up just for a bit, so therefore we can get kind of a clearer image of where the areas of circulation's at? There you go. So you do notice a couple tornado warnings up here, really more one stronger area of circulation over here just to the east of Granfield. That was over the DeVol area, actually, I believe. And then you have another area right here with the falls that has a tornado warning associated with it, right over the falls as we speak. And then you have another one down in here that they just issued, and that one right there is between the falls and Buffalo Springs. So you have 4 tornado warnings right now, and these tornado warnings continue to get expanded further east as this line, this complex of storms roll to the east there. And Alex, if we can actually go to this southern one here and take a look at these communities, we're really yet to hit on this too much, but Henrietta, you all are in the tornado warning as of right now, along with Dick Worsham there in Blue Grove. And so if you live in any of these 3 communities, get into your tornado safe spots, get in your tornado cellar if you can. If you don't have a tornado cellar, get in the most interior room of the home. Have as many walls between you and the elements as possible. Of course, stay away from the windows, and you can cover yourself up with blankets and pillows and mattresses to help shield yourself from any outside debris that may come into the building. So this right here is basically the latest area circulation that has popped up. We had this one pop up right after the one toward just east of the Granfield area in southern Cotton County. But yeah, this right here is moving to the east, northeast as well, and kind of a little bit of a shift in things from an hour ago. You know, we have this complex and this strong area of high winds, and over the last 30 minutes, they've kind of shifted a little bit more to the northeast with time. This right here is where your area circulation is at with the falls area circulation. It's over Dean right now, getting pretty much on top of Dean, and this right here will be heading to Petrolia. And so Petrolia, you all are within the tornado warning. This is just a few miles southwest of Petrolia over Dean. And so if you live in Dean, take advantage of those duck rules right now. You should have already done so. If you live in Petrolia, go ahead and take advantage of those duck rules and put your tornado plan and action into place. And you do notice that DeVol, Randelette are in the tornado warnings. Walters, not quite yet. There's a little bit still to your southwest, but if they extend this just one more time, it will include the Walters area. So you do notice the area of circulation getting pretty close to the Cookie Town area. You do notice very high winds going through Cookie Town right now. And so this activity is pretty rough this evening. It's been a pretty stormy evening. For some. Now, we haven't been so stormy from Lawton to the north. You know, we've heard some thunder, seen a little bit of rain out there, and that's about it. But you go south of Lawton, and it's been a pretty stormy evening out there. And so definitely it's been a rainy April, a stormy April, that's for sure. Unless I'm wrong, Alex, I don't believe we've had any actual tornadoes and touchdown in our viewing area until tonight with a couple touchdowns there south of the river. But anyways, yeah, in fact, April as a whole, we've seen at the airport, the Lawton Airport, 4 times the amount of rainfall than your average April. And so that's definitely getting near record numbers there. I don't remember exactly what the record for April is, but at the airport, we received closer to 10 inches. It was closer to 9 inches before this morning. Then when the rain came in this morning, closer to 10 inches so far for the month of April at the airport. And I don't know what the record is, but Alex, you were telling me earlier that it was somewhere right around 10 inches.
Yeah, we've definitely picked up a lot of rainfall, and we're picking up more rainfall right now. I just wanted to briefly show radar estimated. It looks like 1 to 3 inches of rain over the last 24 hours or so for most locations. So the flooding threat is going to be expected after the line of storms push through as well. Just wanted to quick show you that, but we're going to go back to radar now.
Yes, thank you, Alex. And so this complex of storms continue to march their way to the east here. You have Warwica over here to the east. This is just west of you all. Warwica, you all are out of the tornado warnings, but again, if they extend this just one more time, it would encompass both Walters and Warwica. This right here is getting pretty close now to Jefferson County, getting pretty close to Montague County as this continues its journey to the east. And I will say this, though, Alex, it seems like over the last 30 minutes, this has really picked up its pace a little bit at least. It looks like it's covering maybe a little bit more ground down now over the last 30 minutes, which does make sense because the area of high winds have expanded, especially on the north end of things. But anyways, you do notice the area of circulation here between Randelay. It looks like Jared's actually pretty close there. And also, in your spare time, Alex, while you're doing radar and stuff, can you check maybe the DeVol camera, the Falls camera, and I believe we have one in Burke Burnett as well. And just, I know the chances are slim just because it's so dark out there, but just in case we would see something. But you do notice that this right here continues to punch to the north and east, high winds right now. There's the Red River, and this area does have high winds gusting up to 70, 80, even 90 miles per hour at times. And so that's what we're dealing with out there for this evening as this complex continues to march on to the east. And we do have a new tornado warning that has been issued here. This does encompass the Temple area. Does not include Duncan, though. You can see Duncan over here to the north and east. This is just south of Duncan. Does not include Duncan as of yet, but it would include Duncan if they do extend it one more time downstream. It does include Comanche, though. It includes Hastings. It does include Waurika, and it also includes the Addington area as well. And so these fast winds rolling through, and these winds are pretty shifty, and because of that, you get these new notches or these new areas of circulation that develop, and they kind of circulate pretty quickly or recirculate and restructure themselves pretty quickly there. You do notice that the Storm Hunter, powered by Apache Casino and Hotel, now within the tornado warning as well. So if you can hear me, Jared, be careful out there. But you do notice that this right here does include Temple, and so the area of circulation, you have one right over here where State Highway 5A connects to 277, and then maybe another notch developing right in here. But it really, from between Granville and Randelette all the way down to the Red River, dangerous place to be. Definitely don't want to be there. And this activity is continuing to move on to the north and east. So you do notice communities of Coram just to the east of Comanche there. And so it looks like we're redrawing it. And so here's a look at some of the communities. Taylor, high winds coming through Taylor as we speak. After that, you have Hooper, and Hooper will be in your area here in the next 10 minutes or so. It'll be closing in on Hastings. And then after that, Addington, Hastings, it'll be closing in on you here in the next 20 minutes or so. You have Addington, then Comanche just after 9 o'clock. Waurika right around 9 p.m., which is about 20 minutes or so. But anyways, yeah, some high winds rolling through the area tonight for sure. And we have that complex of storms that continues to move on. And the complex of storms currently have about 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gust. And also about, well, last time I saw about 4 tornado warnings. That may have been increased to 6 tornado warnings. Tornado warnings is basically the idea here. And so this activity continues to expand and grow and actually get a little bit worse as it continues east, and it could be because of a low-level jet kicking in here since the sun angle has lowered. I will actually take a look at the forecasting models while I run radar for Alex. Alex, you can step in and take things over.
Thank you, Barrett. Yeah, so these storms, like Barrett has outlined, really picking up as we've went into the nighttime hours now. We've seen the storms not just pick up in terms of tornadic activity, but also has picked up in terms of how fast they are moving. Just before I walked over here, I looked in this warning here in the north that is into southwest Oklahoma now. Cotton County, Stevens County, as well as part of Jefferson County, was moving towards the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So it has really picked up in speed over the last about an hour or so. When it was early on in the day, they were only moving about 20, 25 miles per hour. So they've nearly doubled in speed as they push off into our eastern counties. Now we have tornado warnings expanding as far north. That's kind of that very northern edge of Cotton County, going southward into North Texas as well. I do want to point out a couple things here real quick, so just leave it on this, Barrett. First off, Lawton area right now, seeing just general thunderstorms, probably going to be some lightning and thunder, but the severe weather risk for Lawton is south of you. The tornado risk is south. There is nothing really imminent for the Lawton area right now. I've seen some people talking about that. But yeah, we're going to continue to see the tornado warnings right along the Red River, and it looks like Barrett's got actually another update for us.
Yeah, I was just looking at the forecasting models here, and it, yeah, low-level level jet has definitely kicked in just above the surface, kicked in pretty dramatically is what the forecasting models show here. So that right there is most likely due to why we now have multiple tornado warnings ongoing right now.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Barrett. And let's go ahead and zoom in. First off, let's do the Southwest Oklahoma. I want to go through all the warnings individually here. Again, it gets pretty messy once you have 4, 5, 6 warnings on the screen. So let's start out with this one in Southwest Oklahoma and show you where the rotation is. Maybe we can even pull up Jared as well, because Jared should be on this storm in the Storm Hunter as well. So if you guys could work on getting in contact with him in the back. First off, here's a look at his shot here. It looks like 1.7 miles east of the Walters area. If we can get his talking on there, that'd be great. But let's pull up velocity data in the meantime and see where the rotation is in relation to Walters. So there's definitely some rotation, A, on the back half of Walters, and then B, there's another rotation just south of the Walters area. And I believe we have Jared's audio. So Jared, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, Alex, we are on Highway 53 heading towards the Highway 65 junction here east of Walters. We're going to go south just a little bit to see if we can get any eyes on that tornado warned area that is moving towards Temple. Again, as we've been saying throughout the night, especially now that it's dark, these QLCS type tornadoes, hard to see, hard to get any warning out because they can spin up so fast. So we're just going to kind of try to keep an eye on it and watch for any signs on the ground that there might be damage being done by a potential tornado near the Temple Walters area. So obviously, like you guys have been saying, if you live in that Walters Temple area, you need to be taking your tornado safety precautions right now for this potential tornado that could be on the ground. The last scan here on my radar that I'm looking at, of course you guys have a little bit better there in studio, but that storm was just southwest of Temple moving towards Temple. So Temple definitely needs to be in their tornado safety areas until this thing passes the next few minutes. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jared. Yeah, so going to be some heavy rainfall in there. I know we're going to try to get our best to get you a shot of the storm, but it's going to be very hard to see with this heavy rainfall now that it's nighttime. But we'll do our best, and we'll check back with Jared in a little bit. Thank you, Jared, for that update. But here's a look at radar once again. Multiple points of circulation in here. I really want to emphasize that. The reason why we have 2, 3 warnings kind of all overlapping each other is because we have so much circulation in the atmosphere. Squall lines as they develop, that's when you start to see these very quick spin ups. So I see one circulation right here just south of Walters, another circulation to the west of Walters. So Walters, you guys should be in your safe place regardless. I mean, there's multiple points of circulation near your area. Let's zoom in a little bit more, Barrett, and see, I believe there should be some more small communities in here. Yeah, Temple, that's what Jared was talking about. Temple area, there's a circulation heading right towards you guys right now as well. We have Hastings a little bit further down the line, but you guys are included in that warning. So Hastings, you guys should be in your safe spots as well. And then further towards the north and east, we have Duncan, not quite included in that warning. Duncan is way off to the northeast, the top right part of the screen there, but they are down the line, potential for if that warning was to continue to extend that way. So Duncan should be paying very close attention. And Waurika, you're included in the warning. You still probably got about another 20 to 30 minutes before that rotation actually gets to you, but you should already be making your plans to get to your safe spot. So we covered here the Southwest Oklahoma storm here. Now let's go southward back to North Texas and make sure we're covering these storms as well, making sure everyone's staying up to date. Let's zoom in on this one in the middle, or that was the Wichita Falls storm. Should be on Petrolia right now. Yeah, so that circulation here right now on top of Petrolia. I'm curious if they'll extend this warning. I'm still seeing a little bit of an inflow notch there, so a little bit of your rotation right here, and they just looks like trimmed up that warning to make it look a lot nicer there. So yeah, the warning now on, or the rotation right on top of Petrolia heading towards the northeast. And if that warning gets extended, this area of rotation also will include the area of Waurika. So that'll also be something else to watch out for. If that tornado warning extends, Waurika will be included in that warning as well. And then going with that southern warning, Ryan is included in the very edge of that. If we can continue to make our way southward now, Barrett. This warning also continues for, looks like the circulation right now on top of the Henrietta area. So right on top of the Henrietta area, tracking towards the northeast, heading towards Terrell, as well as the city of Ryan, I believe, is included in that as well. So a lot of tornado warnings ongoing right now. It looks like one of those warnings just went away, so it's making it look a little bit nicer here on your screen. But a lot of points of circulation along a line of storms that have developed now. If we could go ahead, actually, Barrett looks like he has an update for us. Barrett, what's the update?
Yes, I was just wanting to know that the greater severe thunderstorm warning.
Barrett, your mic is off.
Yes, I want to just say that the larger severe thunderstorm warning here that encompasses a lot of Stevens and also Jefferson County, a lot of Cotton County is for quarter-size hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, radar indicated, and the activity moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. And I'll circle the activity or the warning here. The warning is basically is like so.
All right, thank you, Barrett. And that warning does not include the city of Lawton, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's
correct.
Just to the south of Lawton. Okay, perfect.
Correct.
So wider severe thunderstorm warning for a line of storms that's moving through. As we went into the nighttime hours, we've really seen this ramp up into more of a squall line QLCS type of event where we have a line of storms north to south and a very quick rotation spins up. And I mean, that's why we have so many warnings here. So we have a little bit of circulation still here south of the Walters area. I believe Temple's located right in there. So Walters, Temple should be in their safe spots already. We have this rotation that's now on Petrolia area. That warning continues. And then down south of the Red River as well, we'll continue to see that tornado warning continue as well. And then on top of that, just strong thunderstorms. We've seen 60 to 70 mile per hour winds be the case over the last hour or so. These storms historically have been able to produce up to 80, even 90 mile per hour wind gusts. That was a few hours ago now, but that just shows you the strength of these storms as we go into the nighttime hours. It looks like they're really pulsing back up with the kicking in of that low-level jet across the area. So as they continue to track eastward, strengthening is very well possible, if not expected even. So an area like Duncan, for example, should be really watching out for the near future over the next 30 minutes to an hour, as we could be seeing the Duncan area get in on the storm activity very soon, as you're just on the outside edge of that tornado warning. But at least in the meantime, if you are included in any one of these warnings, if I've said any of your city names in the last 5-10 minutes that are included in that warning, the big things you should be doing: you should be sheltering in place, lowest level of your house possible, underneath something if possible. If you can throw a mattress over your head or throw a helmet on, something like that, and in your most interior part of your house. If you have a storm shelter, of course, that's going to be your best bet. But if you don't have a storm shelter, these are the rules you want to follow. Downstairs, underneath something, like I said, kind of like a mattress or maybe a helmet on your head, center part of your house, and also keep away from windows. Windows are very easy. That's going to be the first thing that breaks on your exterior walls. So you're going to want to stay away from windows, preferably in a room with no windows whatsoever, like an interior closet of your house. So duck rules, continue to follow those if you are included in that or any one of the tornado warnings that are currently ongoing here in the area. Let's go ahead and go back to radar here. I believe we have reflectivity of that whole line of storms here now. Yeah, so this line of storms expands all the way from central Oklahoma down into North Texas as well. It looks like they just issued a new warning here for ahead of that. I believe that's going to be Dallas-Fort Worth National Weather Service Office. Barrett, if you could get that for me in the Montague County and the new severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, Barrett, what's the new criteria with that warning?
Yes, radar indicated 65 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail associated with that activity as it crosses county warning areas from Norman into Dallas there. So yes, you're right on that, Alex. Also want to note, we just can't forget, we have a lot going on, but we can't forget the there we go. The flash flood warnings that we have across the area. We have a flash flood warning now for Lawton, Comanche County, where heavy rain has produced 2 to 4 inches. Produce some heavy rainfall, and 2 to 4 inches are possible for the Lawton and Comanche County area as this rolls through. Also, you go further south toward Burke-Burnett and Wichita Falls, another flash flood warning in effect, and that's for 1 to 3 inches possible in those areas there. And then still a flash flood warning in effect for parts of Knox and also western Baylor counties. That's in effect as well. They've seen up to 2 inches, and 1 to 2 inches still apparently possible in that area. And so remember, you want to turn around, don't drown. around. I know it's kind of a catchy phrase, and we say that a lot, but you know, you definitely just don't want to take the chance of that. Waters, they actually rise pretty quickly too. Most vehicles have a lot like electronic windows now, and so you know, you just won't be able to really get out. You know, one can think, you know, how could you not open the door? A lot of times whenever you have that fast water, that heavy water coming up against that door, you're just not strong enough to push that door open, and so you definitely just don't want a chance crossing water, especially in those low-lying areas. And so do just want to take note of that. 3 flash flood warnings for Comanche County, Lawton, also the Falls County, Lawton, Wichita Falls, and also Monday in the Knox County area as well. And so, Alex is ready.
All right, thank you, Barrett. Yeah, they say the flooding is certainly going to be something we monitor going forward, just because we had so much rainfall over the weekend, and then on top of that, we've picked up another widespread 1 to 3 inches across the area. The greens and yellows are indicating kind of the 1 to 2 to 3 inches. The blues are indicating more under an inch of rain. But as it continues to move eastward, we'll continue to see these eastern counties see those rain totals increase, and we've seen even pockets of up to 4 or 5 inches of rainfall far southwestern Texoma as well. So flooding concerns will continue. Let's go ahead and get back to the tornado warnings and keep people updated on that. Show you the latest places where that rotation is currently at, as well as maybe we'll pull up Jared again. It looks like his feed is looking pretty active over there as I looked off to the side, so we can get in contact with Jared and see if he's able to talk right now. But yeah, he's right on that line of storms right now as we speak. I believe he is in that warning. Could we zoom in a little bit closer on that, Barrett, and pull up the warning?
Yes.
Yeah, he's just north of the Temple area right now. Let's get a.
So yeah, he's in the warning.
Yeah, if we could pull up Jared's shot, even if I could just talk over it, I just want to see what he's seeing right now. Yeah, so we're seeing heavy rainfall on the screen right now. Dark outside, so it's going to be tough to see anything. Is Jared here to talk, or is it just me going to talk over it? Okay, so we're still working on getting Jared up, but here is your rotation right now, just south and east of the Walters area. Let's zoom in a little bit and see how close that is to where Jared would be actually at. He was up here along this highway right here, that rotation. He should be very close to where that rotation would be at, as it's just now past the Temple area. It sounds like we might have Jared now. Jared, can you hear me?
Yeah, Alex, so we're continuing on Highway 53. We kind of stopped on Highway 65, just a mile or two south of 53. Just watching these 2 areas of rotation. You got the one that you've been talking about over the Walters area, then you got the other one right over the Temple area. So both of those communities had the radar indications of the rotation going on right over town. We were trying to keep an eye just on both of those areas, just watching for any kind of power flashes or anything like that that would indicate that there was something on the ground doing damage. We did not see anything. Now, obviously, as we've been talking about, there's a ton of rain, so that could have obscured our view as far as that goes, but I haven't not seen any reports or heard of any reports of damage or anything like that. Did not see any indications of power flashes, so not sure if anything's on the ground, but we're going to continue to the east and get into the area around Comanche, and then stop and take another look back at the storm and just kind of watch it as it moves into Stevens County, and then just kind of monitor it as it crosses 81 and make sure we don't see anything that indicates any kind of tornado damage from these areas of rotation that we're seeing on radar. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, thank you, Jared. Stay safe out there. You are right on top of, or very close to, that circulation that is just passing Temple now. I assume, yeah, like you said, you're going to track eastward and continue to follow this storm. So if you have any updates for us, Jared, just let us know, and we will throw you on the screen as soon as possible to try to hopefully get a look at better what we're seeing, because right now it is dark outside and it's getting really tough to see these storms as we are now officially. I mean, we are in the nighttime hours now. We are not going to be seeing anything anymore. A very big lightning show outside. that circulation right on top of Temple. Tracking towards the northeast, the city of Comanche is included in that warning. You guys still probably have another about 10-15 minutes before the circulation actually gets to the city of Comanche, but the rain is already getting there. Like we've been talking about it the whole night, the circulation is going to be embedded inside of that rain, so the city of Comanche, you should already be in your safe spots. Addington, it does look like it's going to stay just north of you if it continues on its current track, but Addington even should be paying very close attention as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at those southern warnings and see what we're seeing down south. I do still see that circulation on this Petrolia warning. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets extended northeastward and includes the city of Waurika down the line here in the near future. So Waurika, you guys should be watching out for that warning, it potentially getting extended as well. And then this warning, the farthest south warning near the Henrietta area right now, looks a little bit broader to me, but still it is tracking northeastwards. Both Ryan and Terrell is included in that warning as well in southwest Oklahoma. So these storms have really picked up in pace over the last hour or so. They've been moving towards the north and east now at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. Earlier in the night, they were moving as slow as 20 miles per hour. So they've nearly doubled, tripled in speed as they now are officially in that nighttime. And we've seen that line of storms, and whenever we see that line of storms, when we're watching out for these circulations, we're looking for these little inflow notches in that red. So the red indicates wind blowing this direction towards me on the screen. The green indicates wind blowing that direction. So when you see a little bit of inflow notches, that's where you're going to be watching out for those circulations. And you can see Barrett's kind of circling just a whole bunch of them along this line. Sometimes these tornado warnings will even have multiple circulations simultaneously as they continue to move northeastward. So the National Weather Service tries their best to encompass these circulations and warnings. Right now, to me, I would say the most concerning one I am seeing probably is the southwest Oklahoma one. So let's go ahead and go back up to this as well. Actually, Barrett looks like he might have an update. Barrett?
Yeah, since you mentioned the one in southwest Oklahoma, they are actually going to come out with a new tornado warning with that and extend it on down the line. It will encompass a lot of Stevens and Cotton counties there. So.
Okay, so I wonder if it's that far northern one, it might even include the city of Duncan as well. So Duncan, be paying very close attention. That warning should be popping up on our screen any minute now. But yeah, so we're going to be watching out for that very closely here as we move forward with that new warning coming out here in just the next minute or two. Any other updates, Barrett?
No. Street flooding starting to occur in Duncan and Anadarko, which is expected, but that's the only other update that we have.
Okay, thank you, Barrett. So 3 warnings still in effect. We are seeing, so they're starting, I'm just hearing in my ear right now, sirens are starting to go off in the Duncan area with the potential for that warning getting extended in the Duncan area now. So if you live in Duncan, get in your safe place now. Warning is getting extended kind of towards your area. And yep, let's go ahead and zoom in. It actually looks like they really moved that warning towards the north. And I believe it's going to be for this circulation right here, that blue on your screen. Tracking more of a northern track. City of Duncan included, as well as the city of Marlow is now included in that warning as well. So city of Marlow and Duncan included in the warning. Sirens are now going off. Get to your safe place if you live in those areas. Here's a look actually what you'd be doing. Of course, if you have a storm shelter, that's your first place to go. But if you don't have a storm shelter, you need to be downstairs, get underneath something like a mattress or throw a helmet on, something to protect your head, center part of your house, and then keep away from windows. Windows are going to be one of the most dangerous parts of your house because those are going to be the first things that could break if a very strong wind or large hail comes through. Windows will break first, so you definitely want to be away from windows. So keep the duck rules in mind as you shelter in place here if you do live in one of those new areas that just got included in that tornado warning. Now let's go ahead and go back to radar. And here's a look at that circulation right now. How fast is it moving, Barrett? Do you have that information offhand? Okay, while he looks that up, still also the city of Comanche included in that other tornado warning as well. And Barrett, how fast is that storm moving?
Northeast at 45 miles per hour, so faster.
Northeast at 45 miles per hour. So
a faster clip.
Okay, yeah, so moving towards the northeast pretty quickly. So, I mean, you're not going to have much time if you live in the Duncan and Marlow area as that circulation is approaching quickly. So get into that safe place now. You maybe have 10-15 minutes before the circulation is on top of you. Also, is there a Pumpkin Center included in here? Right along Highway 7 there, Barrett?
Is what?
Pumpkin Center, Highway 7 here on the...
Yeah, that's Highway 7.
Yeah, Central High is included in there. And zoom in a little bit closer. Empire City is also included. I could see some other smaller communities.
Nelly.
And it looks like Alita is just outside of that warning. But Central High, Nelly, and then go a little bit further north as well. Denton is also included just barely in that tornado warning. So a couple other smaller communities just to the west of Marlow and Duncan are included in this warning. Looks like Bray is on the very edge of it. The City of Hope is outside of the warning as of now. Yeah, just barely the downtown area of Duncan is included in this warning. But if you live east of Duncan, you are out of the warning at this time. And then, yeah, Empire City, Gas City as well. Coram is now seeing that heavy rainfall included in the warning. Let's go ahead and go back to velocity data here and go with the southern storm. I see Jared is still driving. It looks like he's driving through heavy rainfall right now. And he should be very close to that circulation as well, although I think they're heading away from it. So here's just a look at his what he's seeing. We don't necessarily need to take him, but that's what he's seeing right now. He's driving through heavy rainfall ahead of this circulation. That's exactly what you're going to be seeing if you all get included in this. So you're going to see the heavy rainfall well before that tornadic circulation actually gets to you. So beginning to see that thunderstorm activity really roll into Stevens County now as well. Let's go ahead and zoom back out a little bit, Barrett. And it does look like they let go of that one warning that was the southern end of that southwest Oklahoma one. I don't know if you could I don't know if they mentioned anything of that in the National Weather Service chat, but they did let go of that southern warning. And it does look like they probably let go of that Petrolia warning as well. Waurika's right now seeing heavy rainfall. You guys are included in a big or widespread severe thunderstorm warning. This yellow box on your screen here, 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts are going to be possible in any of these severe thunderstorm warnings. But currently we only have 2 tornado warnings ongoing. This one going into western Stevens County. And then this one down in Clay County, Texas, going into far southern Jefferson County as well. And looks like we do have a little bit of activity kind of behind the system as well in North Texas. These cells are kind of producing some severe weather as well. But let's stick with the tornado warnings. Let's show you the North Texas warning once again. It's been a few minutes since we've last looked at that one. Let's see velocity data. Sorry. Yeah, so still some circulation in there for sure. Now past the Henrietta area. So Henrietta, you are clear in terms of the tornadic threat. It is moving north and east of you. We have Terrell as well as Ryan still included in the warning, and there is still some broad circulation in there. Both Henrietta I see kind of 2 emphasis of points. It's fairly broad overall, but there is circulation heading towards both of these communities. So that tornado warning is going to continue, and eventually it'll track into more of Jefferson County as well if that warning was to continue. Yeah, Barrett just circled it on your screen where those 2 points of kind of that broader circulation is on the backside of this system as well. So this one isn't as concerning to me on the circulation side of things, but still it is enough to prompt a tornado warning. So that tornado warning is going to continue for both Ryan and Terrell. Let's go ahead and jump back up, I guess, to the northern warning, as that is. See what the latest scan is with that one. And here's Jared right now. He's on the Storm Hunter going along Highway 53. He's been getting some live shots in the field, showing you what's going on. Rainfall is now starting to move northward. It's in Comanche now. Comanche is not included in a tornado warning anymore, by the way. It's just this northern warning. That rotation really is taking a left-hand turn and is lifting off towards the north now. Once again, Duncan and Marlow are included in this warning. And here's your circulation right here. It does look like it weakened a little bit over the last scan, but there still is some bright greens in there, which indicates some strong wind gusts, probably 60, 70 mile per hour wind gusts in the system, regardless of if it's tornadic or not. But there is that circulation right in here that is straddling the Stevens County, Cotton County line, maybe even will clip portions of far eastern Comanche County. This tornadic circulation is important to note, though, because I know a lot of people always ask about the Lawton area. It's going to stay well east of Lawton. Lawton is not concerned with that tornadic circulation. It is staying well off to the east, northeast as of right now, heading more towards the Duncan and Marlow area. Barrett, do you have any other new information going on over there?
A little bit. This one is for the flash flooding concern. So the National Weather Service is saying that they are adding a considerable tag to the Lawton flash flood warning. and it will also activate your weather emergency alert system. And so if you live in Comanche County in the Lawton area, your emergency alert system on your phone will be activated due to that flash flood warning, considerable tag. And most flash flood deaths occur in vehicles. So not only is flash flooding or flooding in general the number 2 weather-related killer, used to be considered number 1, then they started including heat in the mix, and that became number 1. But it's a number 2 weather-related killer in the United States. And even of those numbers, most of those numbers occur in vehicles.
All right, thank you, Barrett. Yeah, so flash flooding also a concern. Obviously, Lawton area specifically picked up 5.5 inches of rain this past Saturday from that heavy rainfall, and we're probably picking up another 1, 2, 3 inches of rain. We'll see what the official total is after today, and we'll of course keep you updated on that. But it won't take much more to cause more flooding concerns. Our rivers, our ponds, everything like that are already very filled up. So it only takes a couple more inches of rain to cause, once again, more flash flooding across the area. So we'll hopefully have more updates on that for you in the near future. But for now, we're going to stick with the tornado warning as we are continuing to see that circulation stay off. Looks like to the west of the Duncan area, this is where that circulation is right here on your screen. It's taking much more of a northern turn, but Duncan, you are still included in that warning, and Marlow down the line is included in that warning as well. You probably got another 5 to 10, or probably another 5 minutes or so before it's really close to the Duncan area. So Duncan should be really, in your safe places already, but you have 5 minutes or less now for Duncan. Marlow, you still probably have another about 10 to 15 minutes before that circulation lifts northward. It's moving northeast right now, about 40 to 45 miles per hour. It has been picking up in speed as we've went into the nighttime hours, but we'll continue to monitor that. And here's a look at that other tornado warning as well that does continue to move forward. Still a little bit of broader circulation in there. It does look like it's become a little more messy, in my opinion, personally. I don't know what you're saying,
I agree,
there,
Alex.
I think it's become more of a messy rotation, but still, they're going to keep that tornado warning in effect for the Ryan and Terrell area for the foreseeable future here. But it does look like this rotation has gotten a little bit more messy over the last couple radar scans. So hopefully that trend will continue, because then we can obviously let go of that tornado warning. And Barrett, you got an update for us?
Yes. Oklahoma Mesonet site at Granfield has picked up 2.28 inches of rain in 1 hour. Also right now with our weather station here just outside of our building, we're picking up 2.5 inches of rain per hour as far as our rainfall rate is concerned. Now, overall, we've picked up today, both this morning and this evening, about 1 inch so far at the station, but the rainfall rate actually just increased here just now to 3.31 inches. So we're talking anywhere between about 2 to 4 inch rainfall rates an hour is what we're talking as of right now. And so definitely, flooding is going to be a serious deal for tonight, especially as this activity continues to roll through the area. And so, like we've been saying over the last couple of days, that we were going to see widespread 2 to 4 inch amounts, and right now we're seeing 2 to 4 inch an hour rainfall rate. And so we'll see how much we end up with by the time the night comes to an end. But we're definitely picking up the rain that we thought we would for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Barrett, for that update. Heavy rainfall continues to be a concern with this system, continuing to see a flash flooding risk. I know since we're going into the nighttime hours, thankfully, probably not too many of you guys are going to be traveling at this time. But if you are traveling late here tonight, be very careful on those roadways, because there's going to be ponding on these roadways. As Barrett mentioned, we've seen over 2 inches of rainfall already measured in portions of southwest Oklahoma. And this is the exact same thing we're seeing in Texas as well. And this is on top of the rain we've picked up this past weekend. So flash flooding likely ongoing with this system. Now let's go back to this warning here to the north, show you what's going on the latest. I'm still seeing that rotation here, just straddling that Stevens County, Cotton County line, maybe even Comanche County. This is the Comanche County line right here. Your rotation, it does look like it's not quite as impressive as it was a few scans ago, but still those bright greens are on your screen, which indicates strong wind gusts with it, and there is still a little bit of that notch in it. Now, as it continues to move northward, if it continues that track, it's moving into a less favorable environment. So I do expect this to weaken in the as it continues to lift northward. But when it weakens, that's the big question. In the immediate future, there is still that rotation here. Definitely, there could be potentially a tornado on the ground here. We have Empire City included in this warning. It does look like that rotation is now just passing Empire City. So if that trend continues, Empire City will be in the clear in the next about 5 to 10 minutes or so. Duncan, as of right now, that rotation looks likely it's going to stay about 5 to 10 miles west of you, but that's still a little bit too close for comfort. These storms tonight actually have been a little bit erratic as they've turned left and right. So Duncan still should be in your safe spot. And actually, I think Barrett has another update for us. So Barrett.
Hey, yeah, just going to let people know that the sirens are now starting to go off in the Marlow area. So earlier, about 10 to 15 minutes ago, it started going off in Duncan. Now Marlow has started to activate their tornado sirens as well.
No, thank you, Barrett. Yeah, so sirens going off in the Marlow area now as well. So paying very close attention to it. Once again, I want to point out where that circulation is. Just north and west of Empire City. It's moving mostly northward right now. So Empire City, give it another 5 to 10 minutes and that tornado threat should be passed. I'll give you an update when it does pass. Duncan area, it looks like it's about 5 to 10 miles west of you guys. It's going to continue lifting northward as well, but that's going to get a little bit too close for comfort. Although the current path takes it just west of Duncan. Like I said, too close for comfort, so you should be in your safe spot. And then Marlow, if it continues that same track, it actually could very well track right towards the Marlow area as well. So Marlow should definitely be in your safe spot right now. Like I said, though, as this storm continues to lift northward, it's moving into a less and less favorable tornado environment. So best case scenario is it'll start to weaken rapidly as it's crossed over that frontal boundary, and we'll see a little bit more weaker circulation as it continues to try to push northward into Stevens County. But for the immediate future, tornado warning continues with this storm. And I believe I'm looking over at Jared's feed. Let's just go ahead. We don't need to talk to Jared just because I'm sure they're seeing heavy rainfall. If he wants to talk, I guess we could. But just wanted to pull up his shot. That's the heavy rainfall he's seeing right now. He's in Comanche, Oklahoma. And that's just how heavy of rainfall you're going to see with this system. Is downpours in there. It's not going to be possible to see that tornado because of how much rain is with this system. It's going to be an embedded rotation within that line of storms as well. So this continues that the threat here for the line of storms is a look across the area. We can go ahead and pull radar up again once again and just look at the what we're seeing across the line. It's a line that spans all the way from central Oklahoma down into North Texas. There is currently 2 active tornado warnings, one that is south of the Red River, and then there is one that is north of the Red River. So we have seen a few of those warnings over the last hour or so get expired, but we still are tracking a few areas of interest with that rotation in the area. So let's go ahead and zoom in on a few of these locations here. So I want to go back to this warning real quick, the Ryan Terrell one. And in my opinion, I think this rotation is really weakened. And it is on top of the Ryan Terrell area, but it is weakened overall. But that warning still continues. My guess is it's going to go for another few minutes until 9:15, and we'll see if it gets extended or not. But Ryan and Terrell you should still be in your safe spots as of now, with a very strong wind gust in your area, nonetheless, even without tornadic activity. Then going back to this northern warning. It does look like the circulation, in my opinion, has weakened just a bit once again with the latest radar scan, but still we are seeing that circulation, broadly speaking, west of the Duncan area. And so far, it's been trying to track towards the north and east, towards Marlow, but at this rate, though, the circulation has weakened just a bit, so if that trend continues, we might be seeing some good news there. But Duncan and Marlow, you still should be in your safe spots right now. You are not in the clear of the tornado threat quite yet. All right, and we'll go ahead and zoom back out here. I'm going to show you the line of storms once again. On top of those couple tornado warnings that we're seeing, we also just have a wide variety of severe thunderstorm warnings up and down this line of storms. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the information real quick. 70-mile-per-hour winds have been possible in that southwest Oklahoma one and North Texas. So 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are expected all along this line of storms, regardless of if you're in a tornado warning or not. these strong straight line winds are possible all the way down the line here as we continue to see kind of a bowing out of the line of storms, which typically indicates more of an enhanced wind risk moving eastward. So as the storm system continues to move east, we are seeing this continue to be a wind threat. And then also we have another storm here that looks like it's got some interesting characteristics. I just want to see real quickly what the velocity data looks like on this one. Just south of the only area, that might be an area of interest in far southern Texoma in the near future for maybe some circulation as well. That is not tornado warned right now, but that is far southern Texoma. Right now, we still have these 2 ongoing tornado warnings, and it looks like Barrett, you're back on the screen here, so take it away for me.
Yeah, that's right. The area of stronger circulation is definitely with the tornado warning in Stevens County, and most of it is for Stevens County. Maybe a little bit of a sliver of Cotton County here, maybe a southeastern sliver of Comanche County there. But Lawton, you all are just to the west of this. This does not encompass the Lawton area. This right here is basically over Gas City, moving to maybe just a couple miles to the east or west of Duncan there. And this right here is really more on track for Marlow than anything else, but it's over Gas City right now, really tracking on the west side of Duncan up to the Marlow area here, and so that's where we have the area of circulation as of right now. You have Lawton over here, then you have the station about right in here on the east side, and so all this activity is definitely east of Lawton there, so that's good news for Lawton. But of course, if you're in Duncan and Arsenal Marlow, take those duck rules seriously. Yes, Alex?
I just want to jump in real quick and clear a few communities that maybe you're seeing a little bit of confusion. So Walters and Temple no longer included in the tornado warning. You guys are in the clear of the tornado threat. As of now, you're still seeing storm activity, so it's still probably pretty noisy outside in the Walters Temple area, but that tornado warned storm has now moved past you and it is moving more into western Stevens County. So Walters and Temple, you are in the clear.
Yes, thank you for that, Alex. You also notice Comanche over here to the east, Empire City. You all are in the tornado warning, but the area of circulation just maybe 3 or 4 miles to the north of Empire City. You have Duncan right here. It looks like a main road that goes to the west of Duncan there, but the area of circulation on the far western fringes of Duncan proper, it's you're just to the east of the center of circulation, as you see right there. So that's good news for Duncan proper, but of course maybe the western outskirts here, maybe getting in on western outskirts there. But really, if this continues on the same trajectory northeast, it would really be more of a Marlow thing than Duncan. But you do notice that from Bray down to Duncan, Empire City, Gas City, all the way up to the northeast, you want to go ahead and take advantage of those duck rules, get in the most interior room of the home, and have as many walls between you and the elements as possible. Stay away from the windows, of course, and you can go ahead and cover yourself with blankets or pillows to help protect yourself from outside debris that may come in. And also, if you are in an apartment complex that have multiple stories, you want to go down to the lowest floor that you can. And so you do notice Warwica is seeing some fast winds sweep through the Warwica area, and you also notice that Warwica is out of the tornado warning, which is good, but still hefty winds for that area. Alex?
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update on this circulation that was tornado warned at one point, but as the warning has expired, and it doesn't look like, at least in the immediate future, the National Weather Service plans on reissuing it. But the tornado warning that was down near the Ryan and Terrell area has officially expired at 9:15. And yeah, like I said, as of now, no plans of reissuing it. So we are down to just one tornado warning in the area that is just west of the Duncan area.
Yes, that's good news. And so the severest portions of the weather have actually shifted a little bit north of the Red River, not including Lawton, though, kind of the southeastern portions of southwest Oklahoma. And so you notice that area of circulation right in here. And if we could, let's go back to reflectivity and see a lot of heavy rainfall. You can see Jared's shot over here to the left. And go back to reflectivity, keep the warnings, and then let's get rid of the lightning and zoom out a little bit so we can take a look at the complex. And so, you know, earlier this complex was producing multiple areas of circulation. We had anywhere between 4 to 6 tornado warnings associated with this complex at once. It looks like that's not the case as of right now. We're down to 1, which is good. But with the low-level jet that's kicked in tonight, that could kick back up, and we could see a few more by the time it clears our viewing area. And you do notice this one standing one over here. Now, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings along along this entire complex. You can see the complex bowing out here along the Red River, especially in the Jefferson County there. Wouldn't surprise me if Jefferson County is seeing the highest of those straight line winds roll through. Alex, why don't you go to the one to the north here, give us a criteria with that severe thunderstorm warning, and then the criteria with the severe thunderstorm warning south of the river.
Yeah, so the one for the one to the north is a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-sized hail. So it is mainly a wind threat, straight line wind threat with that one. And then the one to the south has been, it looks like there's actually two different warnings technically, but the warning that's over the Bowie area that is towards a little bit further east is for 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well. So 65, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are kind of expected all along this line of storms.
Okay, and can you go over the one to the south of Archer City there?
The one that is southwest of Archer City is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail.
Okay. All right, so we have 65 to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts along this complex of storms here, and up to quarter-size hail as well, especially north of the Red River. You do notice, let's go to the velocities real quick, but keep this same view. You do notice some of the hefty winds rolling through the eastern portions of our viewing area. Yeah, you can see those fastest winds bowing out across parts of northern Jefferson County, southern Stevens County. That's where you have the highest winds as of right now. You also have another area here bowing out toward Bowie here. Bowie experiencing some high winds, and that's why they issued that severe thunderstorm warning for most of Montague County there for these winds moving into the Bowie area. And then you have, it looks like they just shaved the back end off of that severe thunderstorm warning there. But you can see our storm hunter here, Jared, within the northern Stevens County area there, just keeping an eye on what's going on throughout Duncan and the Marlow area. He actually looks to be in Duncan right now. The area of circulation looks to be on the northwest side of Duncan there. Let's zoom in a little bit more, but keep the storm hunter icon there and zoom in a little bit more. There you go. So you have Central High, Marlow, and Duncan. If we can, why don't we go ahead and take Jared if he can hear us, and if y'all can connect to him, and just let me know in my ear whenever you all are ready, or if we can or not. But you do notice Jared here moving maybe a little bit across the Duncan area, but yeah, definitely really just not going to see much out there because of all the rainfall that's surrounding this circulation, and two, it's nighttime, probably seeing quite the lightning show out there, and so that's kind of the atmosphere or the setting that we have throughout the area tonight. And so this is encompassing the Bray community along with Gas City and Duncan, Central High, Marlow, Comanche. You're just to the southeast of the tornado warning. And so Comanche, the tornado warning in the area circulating north of you all. And so this area circulation continues to move on to the north. And it looks like the area circulation still pretty broad. It looks like the colors and maybe the wind speeds have went down a little bit, but still an area of circulation there for sure. And if we could, let's maybe take it to Jared. If y'all can get a hold of him or can't, so just go ahead and let me know. But you do notice his view over here, just a lightning show and rain there toward the Duncan area. And
into the south side of Duncan, and like you said, we're just dealing mainly with heavy rain as we've gone from southern Stevens County up to Duncan. Continuing to just keep an eye on that area of rotation that's off to the northwest of Duncan. Again, not seeing any signs of any damage actually being done on the ground as far as power flashes, things like that. Of course, again, as you're seeing the shot right now, we're driving through some street flooding here in Duncan. They're getting heavy rain. They're just kind of on the beginning edge of this, so they're going to be dealing with heavy rain for the next few minutes. Lawton, it looks like, is fixing to be out of the heavy rain, so the flash flood risk is going to continue to be really our number one issue for the rest of the night. Starting to see some localized street flooding here in Duncan. Saw some reports of some flash flooding happening in Lawton as well. So if you don't have to be out, don't get out in this. You can kind of see right there in our shot that we're going through some definite street flooding on the south side of Duncan. So if you're inside, stay inside. Don't need to get out and risk any issues with all this rain and the flooding that's occurring. Back to you in the studio.
Yes, thank you for that update, Jared. And I believe Alex has an update for us.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off what Jared was talking about with that flooding risk as well. We're going to go back, or we're going to hover over the Lawton area. You can see that dark green box on your screen indicating flash flood warnings. I just saw a report that, take this for what you will, but too many streets to report flooding on in Lawton. That's just how much flash flooding we're once again seeing in the area, as we've seen heavy rainfall roll through, and we obviously had that heavy rainfall just a few days ago. So it doesn't take much more to spark that flash flooding risk once again. So we're seeing probably some pretty big flooding concerns for Comanche County as a whole. So just be careful. I know a lot of you probably aren't going to be traveling at this hour because we're going into the nighttime. So thankfully, not going to be too much problems for many people with the travel impacts, but certainly going to be some flooding concern as there is several streets that are flooding now in the Lawton area.
Yes, and Alex, I just wanted to mention this real quick, and then you can continue the flood coverage after this. But we actually did get a caller saying to avoid 24th and Gore, because you're starting to get quite a bit of flooding near 24th and Gore. And so I do want to advise people not to be out there tonight due to the flooding hazards. And it's 24th and Gore that you want to avoid. But here, in the, as the overnight hours progress, you'll probably want to avoid most intersections, that's for sure. So anyways, you can continue, Alex.
All right, and then let's go ahead and get back to this tornado warning now. Obviously, flooding, we'll continue to cover that going through the nighttime hours into tomorrow with multiple rounds of showers and storms. But the immediate threat right now is this tornado warning. And I personally think that circulation's looking a lot less potent as it's made its way towards the north here. But at least for the foreseeable future, we're going to continue to have that tornado warning in effect for several cities: Empire City, Duncan, Marlow, Bray, Central High, all included in this warning. That circulation, like I said, it doesn't look as impressive to me as what it once did at one point, but for the immediate future, still some broader circulation in Stevens County.
Yeah, the circulation has weakened and become broader, so that's good news there. We'll see if, as this continues, if they extend this further northeast or not. But it's like what you were saying earlier, Alex, you know, the further north this goes, the more into cooler air and drier air that it gets. Not that the air is necessarily dry up here, but dew points south of the river are in the upper 60s. Dew points in this area are more in the low to mid 60s. And so the dew points do wane a little bit, and also the temperatures do get a little bit cooler. In fact, we're in the 60s, mid 60s right now here at the station in Lawton. And so that is one thing that to consider as this continues to move on to the north there. You do have some high winds still with this. You notice some high winds getting into the Comanche area here. And so Comanche, even though you're not in the tornado warning, you still have some high winds across your area. It looks like they let that tornado warning go. Alex, any updates with that, or are they going to continue that or anything?
They have not said anything yet on whether or not they'll continue that. It looks like they must have canceled it early, though, because it's only 9:26. So
that's what I was going to ask. Did they let it go, or did you switch pallets there?
Oh, I did turn this off. Let me go ahead and put the. Okay. Yes. Yeah. The warning's still in
he just
effect.
switched pallets. All right.
Yeah.
Yep, sometimes we have what we call a pallet in our system. When we switch pallets, sometimes it'll do away with it. Anyways, so we still have the tornado warning ongoing here for a lot of Stevens County, and also another area here of not circulation, but an area of high winds right now getting into Comanche, and that could become an area of circulation a little bit later on. It's definitely something we'll have to watch, but your greater area of circulation right in here, just on the northwest side of Duncan. Like I said, this is really headed more toward the Marlow area there. You have Central High over here. This is State Highway 7. 81 runs through Duncan down to Comanche, and you have this area of winds right now getting to Comanche. And remember, these winds are gusting up to 70 miles per hour, along with quarter-size hail associated with this severe thunderstorm warning. You notice these high winds right now getting through central and southern Stevens County, northern Jefferson County here, and these winds are about to hit the Velma area. They're hitting the eastern portions of Stevens and also Jefferson County here. Waurika, you're within the severe thunderstorm warning as well, but you are south of the areas of rotation that have prompted that tornado warning. You also notice another area of winds punching out near the Bowie area, and so you have up to 60 mile per hour or 65 mile per hour wind gusts with that severe thunderstorm as that continues to roll to the east northeast there. So you can see this complex of storms rolling through, and you do have a kind of a little bit of a bowing segment right in here, and that's one of the areas where you have the fastest winds, and so those winds punching through like so, and this is what we call the apex of the storm right here, and basically along that you're going to have your highest wind speeds here, and so that's what we call the apex, is basically just where those winds really punch out, and you have kind of the most of the bowing going on there with this bow segment, and you also have another supercell over here to the south and west that is separated from this complex here, and that's also producing, I think, standard activity, quarter-size hail, 60 mile per hour wind gust as well. And you do also notice just a swath of flood warnings throughout at least half of the southwest Oklahoma viewing area here, and it extends in the north central Texas, including the Falls, Bowie, northern portions of Waurika, Duncan, Chickasha, Lawton. Also Monday, they have their own flash flood warning in effect for a lot of Knox County and western Baylor County as well. And you notice this activity definitely hammering the eastern portions of our viewing area now. It started off down in here in the southwestern portions, and then kind of grew and expanded from the Falls, maybe Burke-Burnett, to the south here, including DeVol, about as far north as DeVol, and then it should kind of continue to the east-northeast with time. Once you get down to Graham and Jacksboro, you all have largely been pretty quiet. You do notice most of the activity just to your north and west there, but you do notice some more activity coming in between Knox City and Seymour. Also some activity getting into Throckmorton. We'll watch this a little bit later on. These two anyways would be going over a worked over atmosphere here. This one here and this one here may pack a little bit of a punch as it still has some access to that warm moist air that has not been disturbed yet. So these two are two that we're going to have to watch there. But you notice this complex of storms continues to roll on to the east. Looks like we have an update with this severe thunderstorm warning. Yes.
Yeah, so I just got confirmation the tornado warning was expired, which was our last official tornado warning in the area. So we are officially tornado warning free for the first time in a few hours here in Texoma. So good news on that front. Still have severe thunderstorm warnings though, as well as a flooding risk as well. So I want to give you some updates on that. We have first off this new severe thunderstorm warning in southwest Oklahoma. Kind of hard to see on your screen here. I'm going to circle it all for you though, right here. This new warning includes portions of Grady, Stevens, and Jefferson County for us here at KSWO, and then it's pushing off more towards central Oklahoma. But it's for up to 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible. So straight line winds of up to 70 miles per hour, still a considerable strong thunderstorm associated with that, and that's moving fairly quickly as well. So strong thunderstorm with that. Then an update on the flooding risk in Lawton. Just got passed along some information that I wanted to get out there that still multiple roads of flooding are a concern. I have a little note here looking like Lee, Gore, as well as Sheridan Road, all not going to be very easy to travel as of right now with that flash flood warning in effect. Cache Road still looking okay as on the flooding side of things there. So if you have to travel tonight, keep that in mind. Flooding is going to be a big concern. I mean, we have a lot of flash flood warnings in general. If you look closely, all those dark green boxes on your screen are flash flood warnings ongoing from Lawton down to Wichita Falls, all of our eastern counties, even as far southwest as the Knox County area down towards Seymour. A lot of flash flood warnings in effect. So if you're traveling tonight, keep that in mind. You're going to have to probably, or there's a good chance you have to go different routes to get around water and flooded roadways because you don't want to drive through unknown amounts of water. So always keep in mind to turn around, don't drown with flooding concerns in the area. And this is not the only rain storms we're going to see either tonight. We're going to see more showers early tomorrow morning going into the daytime hours on Wednesday. So we're not done with that flooding risk yet today, where we're going to see more showers and storms in the very near future. This is just one round of still another, probably one or two more rounds to go.
All right, thank you for that, Alex. And I actually have more updates here coming in Comanche County. 115 Low Chapel Road is basically impassable or pretty close to being impassable, so you don't want to be on 115 Low Chapel Road. And as we head into Stevens County, most of Stevens County is still fine, but that will be changing here pretty quickly. So we'll go ahead and take a look at Cotton County. Cotton County, Highway 5 west of Walters, rescue took place and ended up getting the person out, and right as soon as they got the person out, the car actually floated away. So we've already had some pretty close calls whenever it comes to the flooding risk out there, and so definitely grateful that they were able to rescue that person before the car floated away. And again, that was on Highway 5 west of Walters. So basically, if you live anywhere within the flash flood warnings here from Comanche County down to Cotton, the Falls County, also parts of Tillman, Stevens, also getting into parts of Jefferson County here, and don't forget the lone one over here by its own, parts of Baylor and Knox counties. If you live in those areas, you just want to stay inside tonight. You don't want to go outside because even though you know, the rain has come to an end, those water levels still rise as the ground releases the water into those low-lying areas, and so you can still have rising water for a day or two after the rainfall ends. And two, it's night, and so you know, in the daytime you can't even judge it very well. Nonetheless, at night, so do keep that in mind. You just want to stay inside tonight.